Hello guys, welcome to my channel Lucid Fanfic, and if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out on our latest videos. So be sure to stick around until the end, and let's get started. He points the ball at Aizawa, his burning longing to prove him wrong evident. I won't allow that I want others to rely on me. I've always aspired to be a hero. I'll say that 1,000 times, even if those are my final words. Izuku turns forward, pulling his arm back. My girlfriend Sato, Mikan, Junko, Makuro, Maki, I won't hold anyone back. I'll show them a bright smile, just like All Might. I'll show everyone peace. I won't hold my friends back, or those around me. With a deep, determined motion, Izuku sets his arm. I'll lend those around me a helping hand when they see my smile. No. When they see me, I want them to say nothing. I don't want fame. I just want to save everybody. I want to help. I won't be a useless Deku. Izuku hurls the ball, a shockwave of wind accompanying its trajectory, surpassing even Bakugo's. He turns to Aizawa, clenching his wrist. See, Izuku asserts, his broken finger throbbing with pain. I told you I'll do it. I didn't break an arm. I didn't hold anyone back. Excitement courses through him, and despite the pain, his eyes sparkle with the thrill of adrenaline. Izuku. Maki's eyes widened. What she saw was something different. It's like his entire demeanor changed, and something in Izuku, she could see it. So bright. I have chills. Maki rubbed her shoulders, feeling a chill run over. Why? Why do I feel like this? I belong here, Aizawa-sensei shouted our protagonist. Currently, after Izuku defiantly showcased his determination to overcome his quirk's drawback, he stood there, gripping his wrist. Abruptly, a thunderous, enraged voice shattered the air. Turning swiftly, Izuku locked eyes with Bakugo, his palms crackling with the explosive power of his quirk as he charged relentlessly toward him. Deka, how did you do that? You bestiardi. Wait, panic etched across Izuku's face as he scanned the frozen surroundings, grappling with uncertainty. Aizawa's eyes registered the unfolding chaos, convinced that the day couldn't become any more bizarre. But then, an unexpected twist intervened. A purplish mold materialized, chaining itself around Bakugo's wrist with unyielding strength, halting his furious advance. Junko nonchalantly blew on her finger, a sinister smile playing on her lips as she unveiled her quirk in front of Izuku for the first time. The chains, dark and cold with a purple hue, held Bakugo in check as he thrashed angrily against the newfound restraint. The atmosphere crackled with tension as the unexpected turn of events unfolded before them. Whoa, ease up, buddy, Junko chirps, her tone playful and her grin mischievous. Can you hear them, Bakugo? With a dramatic flourish, she spreads her arms wide, inviting chaos to reign. Don't resist, let it seep into your soul. Mwaha hee hee ha ha. A dribble of excitement escapes the corner of her mouth, her face flushed with exhilaration, and her eyes whirl into a frenzy of manic delight. In a swift motion, Junko produces a pair of glasses, her hair morphing into that of a homeroom teacher's. What I'm about to spill was supposed to be kept hush-hush, but where's the thrill in that, huh? We're all gonna get to play with our quirks soon anyway, hee. Haha, mine's all about despair. Junko's voice shifts into a cutesy, playful tone. But wait, Junko? Mew? What's that? Oh, but Junko. Isn't that wickedly cruel? With a flick of her wrist, she conjures a crown out of thin air, her voice suddenly booming and authoritative. Maybe it is my quirk snatches up the hope of others and replaces it with almighty despair. I dub it, the Queen of Despair. Aizawa observed how adeptly the girls responded. Maki's footsteps were utterly silent. Each time her feet touched the floor, not a single sound was made. Makuro positioned herself strategically beside Bakugo, her knees slightly bent as her hands tensed, poised to grab hold of him if necessary. Sato's hands lingered just above the back of Bakugo's neck, her expression focused and determined. Meanwhile, Yuno stood before him, her cell phone held out with a crazed, lovesick smile plastered on her face, sending shivers down the spines of those around her. Aizawa wished this moment was a mere fever dream. He was somewhat taken aback by how swiftly these girls reacted to Bakugo's outburst. These girls. Their speed is impressive, and not only that, they managed to frighten me a little, Aizawa remarks, pinching the bridge of his nose with a tired sigh. Hello Class 1A, is Junko Inashima capturing your undivided ATT attention? Junko elongates her words dramatically, her voice dripping with theatrical flair. You got it. Darlings, I'm the queen of despair, all about spreading it despair. Not only do I snatch away hope. Oh no, 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 I can turn that hope into a one-way ticket to Suicidal City, using every last drop of someone's precious memories against them. She points a manicured finger at Bakugo, her grin widening. You there, lucky one wrong move against that guy, gesturing to Izuku, and you'd be my very own puppet of despair, straight out of the 1800s, this purple goo of despair. Oh, it's versatile. Honey, I can mold it into anything I want. Even manipulate minds through the sheer power of despair, haha. Don't try anything funny, Maki whispered in a hushed tone, her sharp, cold, red eyes fixated as if a single breath could end Bakugo's life. Don't even breathe. At your command, sister, Mokuro responded, poised and prepared for her sister's call and command. Izuki, I hope he didn't try to hurt you or you hurt, your finger? Yuno looks back towards Izuku, her worried eyes stare then down at his broken finger. Oh, Izuki, Yuno frowned. We must get that finger fixed. Don't worry, Izuki, I won't let a horrible future happen to you. Okay, Izuki. Sato's hands were near Bakugo's neck. Don't even think about it, I won't let your bitter hands touch my man. Sato's voice resonated with anger and intense displeasure, carrying an unmistakable aura of deadly intent. She hadn't unleashed her quirk yet, but her speed without sugar rush was already impressive for someone like Sato. Izuku was visibly shocked, his eyes widening as he witnessed Bakugo effortlessly restrained by Sato, Junko, Maki, Mokuro, and Yuno. They formed a united front, a shield enveloping him. So quickly? How? I am speechless. Are they really that protective of me? Izuku, a nervous and anxious wreck, stammered in disbelief. Izuku attempted to move, but the pulsing pain in his finger throbbed, forcing him to sigh. In pain, he grunted, ow. I am okay, just a broken finger. It doesn't hurt much. You can. Let Bakugo go. I'll finish you, nerd. Tell me how you did that. I said shut it. Maki's intimidating glare bore into Bakugo, a suffocating aura emanating from her presence, compelling him to slightly retreat, restrained by the Queen of Despair quirk. Wait, Izuku, your finger. Mikon hurried over, only to trip on her own foot and tumble face first. Izuku, feeling sympathy for Mikon's unfortunate trip, approached her. She brushed off her outfit and made her way to Izuku. Sorry, I am sorry. Mikon blushed, activating her quirk, creating a warm, gentle glow on Izuku's finger. Izuku chuckled softly. That's okay. Mikon, just, try to be more careful next time. Mikon's blush widened, her gaze shifting away in a flustered manner. An unfamiliar sensation stirred in her chest, a longing for Izuku's attention. She yearned for his eyes to be focused solely on her. Ugh, I am the star. Listen to me, I am not done explaining my quirk. Junko childishly pouts. Listen to me, CK. Just kidding, that's all my quirk has to offer. Junko snaps her fingers, and the chain from her Queen of Despair quirk vanishes without a trace. Junko crossed her arms, emphasizing her ample BRSDS, pushing it upward. Fine. Whatever you say. Maki maintained her glare at Bakugo. I don't care what happens between you two, she remarked, turning her attention back to Izuku and Bakugo. But I didn't rush here for you, she said sternly, a faint pink hue on her cheek. I didn't. Don't get the wrong idea, or I'll be the one to finish you. Maki's facial expression says otherwise. Izuki, darling, sad. A gentle smile formed. Aizawa observed from a distance as the girls completely forgot about Bakugo's existence and focused on Izuku. An ominous feeling ran down Aizawa, but he shook it off. These girls were truly different than any he had ever had in his class. Soon after, the class groups up and ready for the Aizawa announcement. He displays the scores. Izuku taking the last palace with Minty in front of him. What? Izuku's soul left his body. He believed this was it. This is where his dream had started and where it will end. By the way, Aizawa gestures toward the display of scores. What I said earlier is a lie. Nobody is going to be explained. I need you all to try and push your quirks out there. Maki could have sworn she saw Izuku's spirit return to his body once Aizawa shared his news. Her eyes lingered on Izuku a little longer, a small smile playing on her lips that she couldn't hide. You're an idiot, a really cute idiot. I hate you so much. I can't believe you brought me here, to a hero school. I'm here because, from the moment you stood in front of my family home, you stuck your nose into my assassin finisher family business. You knew DMN well your entire life could have ended at that moment. The odds. Maki's eyes remained fixed on Izuku, who let out a sigh of relief upon realizing he wasn't being expelled. The odds. You should have perished at my family's doorstep. Yet here you stand, Maki mused, her tone tinged with both curiosity and frustration. I don't comprehend you, Izuku Midoriya. You make me feel human. It's a sensation foreign to me, from the day I was born till now. I've never felt like a mere finishing machine in your presence. But don't mistake my acknowledgement for an eagerness to forge bonds. Maki noticed a glare from Sato that made her look away, a blush creeping onto her face. Quickly attempting to recover, she looked back at Sato with her cold, uninterested voice. What is it? The glareful tension between Maki and Sato is struck against them. Each of them glanced away, Sato's eyes lingering a little longer on Maki before redirecting their attention to Izuku's well-being. The HRM of crazed, love-stricken girls descends deeper into madness with each passing day. After Aizawa confirms Izuku is fully healed, school for Class 1A has not ended. The students of Class 1A put on their heroes' costumes. Class 1A walks, and the rest of the Yandere gals stood slightly distant from their classmates. Izuku Sato mutters quietly, sadly looking around. Izuku? I don't see my man anywhere. Mina's eyes perked up before suddenly smiling. She crept up to Sato. Boyfriend? Mina questions, you mean Midoriya, the awkward guy? Is your boyfriend? Absolutely. Sato's smile was warm and genuine as she responded, her tone affectionate. I hold that boy very dear to my heart. What makes you curious about that? Oh my gosh, Mina whispered softly. Her attitude and voice burst with charm of a young teenage girl. I am Mina Ashido. I can't believe you have a boyfriend. Oh, and he's a shy one, so how long? You know, have been together, he. 6 months strong, Sato thought to herself, reassured by Mina's demeanor that she wasn't the type of girl to try and steal Izuku away from her boyfriend. Maki, Junko, Yuno, and Mikon listened closely. Each one of their hearts beat with a feeling of uneasiness. Maki quietly sighed, her tone tinged with annoyance. That word. It grates on me. It angers me. Am I supposed to feel jealous? Envious? Because Izuku isn't mine? She paused, her expression darkening slightly as a possessive glint entered her eyes. He belongs to me. His every thought, his every breath. They're all mine. And anyone who tries to take him away from me, well, they won't get away with it. Meanwhile, Yuno's eyes focus on her thumb. Her teeth nibbles and bites the skin of her fingernail. Izuku, my beloved, my everything. When my fingers aren't buried within me, I ache for the touch of your skin. You are my world. My existence revolves around you. That wench, Sato, has no right to claim you as hers. I'll tear her apart, limb by limb. I'll watch her screams drown in the river's current, relishing in her agony. Your skin, your essence, your very life belong to me, and me alone. No one else shall lay claim to you. I will forever be your first, your last, your everything. I dream of birthing our children, filling our home with the echoes of our love. And you, my dear Izuku, will never leave my side, not for eternity. Junko tilted her head back ever so slightly, a sly, smug expression playing across her features. Clearly, she doesn't know how to handle a PP, she mused, her gaze fixed on Yuno with a hint of amusement. That girl looks like she can't SCK right. Her eyes seemed to bore into Yuno's, as if daring her to challenge the unspoken thoughts. Sister, what troubles you? Mukuro inquires, observing her sister's gaze fixed on Yuno. Then, a realization dawns upon her. Sister, I fail to comprehend what you find in him. Midoriya is undeniably strong-willed, but mere determination will not ensure his survival, especially not if you intend to end his life. She speaks the last of her words with a low whisper in Junko's ear. Shut it, and no dumbass I was thinking about. D's. Junko hissed, her voice barely above a whisper as she pinched her sister Mukuro's lip with a sly grin. Don't ask what, she added, her tone dripping with mischief. No questioning my desires. All right, you talking SBRM cell? Got it. Perfect. With a playful smack on Mukuro's back, the sound echoed teasingly in the room, punctuating Junko's audacious declaration. The entire class of 1A waited before one of the students realized they were missing a student. Izuku Midoriya is nowhere to be seen. I wonder where Midoriya is, Mineta mused, standing beside Kaminari with a thoughtful gaze aimed upward. What did he do to get all that attention from those hot gals? Mentally biting his lip in frustration, Mineta grumbled, "Lucky BSDRD, lucky, I wish girls would protect me like that." Indeed, where is young Midoriya? All Might's internal thought choked the moment he saw Midoriya make his presence known. Izuku Sato's eyes lit up. Her cheek blushed red with excitement to see Izuku. Sorry I was a little late." Izuku had a forgiving frown. "What the F are you wearing?" Junko spat her non-existent coffee from the sight of Izuku's hero costume. Izuku stood there with a flustered and shy face. Izuku's hero costume is one Inko designed for him. From the top of the outfit to the mouth guard, Izuku's costume held a massive and noticeable resemblance to All Might. All Might nearly kicked from the sight, though he held back from with a sweat forming down his forehead. All Might kept his signature smile. All Might explains today's lesson, a trial of battle of sorts. The battle trials will take place indoors. My young heroes, All Might's smile shines brightly as he addresses the students. He reaches into a box and pulls out slips of paper. Inside here, you'll find your pairings. This is a teamwork trial. There will be a hero side and a villain side. Your main task is to stop the bomb before the timer runs out. Villains, your mission is to prevent the heroes from reaching the bomb, and heroes, your goal is to reach that bomb. Reach that bomb. Izuku thinks to himself, wondering who he's going to be paired up with. Mokuro's gaze lingered on Izuku, her eyes piercing through his slightly nervous yet focused expression. "Midoriya," she murmured, her voice laced with a hint of curiosity and disdain. "What does sister see in you? What is it that she finds appealing? Is it your kindness? Your smile, perhaps?" A brief pause filled the air before she continued, her tone betraying her indifference. But sister couldn't care less about such trivial matters. Okay. Seriously, spill it already. Cap, I don't have all day," Junko exclaimed impatiently, her voice filled with urgency and a hint of irritation. "Shut it." Maki snapped at Junko, her tone sharp and direct, a glint of annoyance flickering in her eyes. Hee, how thrilling, Yuno giggled, her smile sweet and bubbly. If anything happens, Izuku, I'll be right there for you," Mikan stammered nervously, her hands clutching her clipboard tightly as she stood just a few inches away, beside All Might. As All Might announced the matchups for the battle trial, Mikan's eyes widened slightly with worry when she heard who Izuku would be fighting against. Bakugo. Izuku gulped nervously as his hands clenched. Junko's arm suddenly pulled around Izuku's shoulder and pulled him, his head pressing directly on Junko's melons. Isn't this just too despairingly delightful?" Junko erupted into a sickening laugh, her eyes gleaming with twisted excitement. "Izuku Inashima, darling, you're in for a wild ride. I'll have you begging for mercy until the next chapter rolls around." As tension crackled in the air, Izuku's nerves vibrated in sync with it. His eyes darted nervously from the towering figure of Junko, exuding an aura of confidence bordering on arrogance, to the monitors where their impending battle played out for all to see. The gaze of their classmates, fixated on the screen, mirrored the intensity of the moment. Beside Izuku, Junko sauntered with an air of flamboyance, her demeanor exuding an almost palpable sense of superiority. It was as if she reveled in the spotlight, relishing the opportunity to showcase her prowess in the upcoming clash against Bakugo and Ida. Among the spectators, All Might stood tall, his gaze unwavering as he observed the unfolding events. The weight of his presence added an extra layer of gravity to the proceedings, reminding everyone of the significance of the trial of battle. Nearby, Mokuro stood stoically alongside Maki, her expression unreadable but tinged with a hint of anticipation. Her eyes, sharp and observant, followed the action on the monitors with a laser-like focus, betraying none of the inner turmoil brewing beneath her composed exterior. Maki's lips pursed in frustration, a heavy sigh escaping her as her eyes remained fixed on the monitor, focusing intently on the green-haired boy, Izuku. "Let's see if all those months of training have paid off," she thought, her arms crossing over her chest in a display of simmering anger. Despite her stoic demeanor, Her eyes burned with a fierce intensity, reflecting her unwavering determination. A flicker of resentment flashed across her features. I should be the one up there. Not that superficial bimbo with inflated confidence, she muttered under her breath. Her words dripped with disdain, a testament to the competitive fire burning within her. Yuno cast a sidelong glance at Maki, her expression tinged with curiosity as she observed the stoic figure beside her. Mikan, clipboard in hand, remained impassive, her attention fixed on the unfolding events. Meanwhile, Sato's demeanor betrayed a different story altogether. Biting her bottom lip, her eyes blazed with a fervent intensity, a hint of madness dancing within their depths. "Darling," she murmured under her breath, her voice a whispered plea laden with both concern and possessiveness. "Please, be careful." As the monitor displayed the scene before them, Sato's gaze flickered with a tumult of emotions. Anger simmered beneath the surface as she watched Bakugo and Izuku's approach. Her fingers curled into fists, her nails digging into her palms as thoughts of retaliation danced through her mind. Junko's careless antics only served to stoke the flames of Sato's ire. With each careless gesture, each nonchalant sway of her arms, Sato's grip on her emotions tightened. Her jaw clenched, muscles tensing with the barely contained urge to intervene. "Izuku, ugh, damn it, I should have been your partner. We need to talk about the company you keep, darling. Junko's touchy-feely antics with you. I won't stand for it. She can't be contaminating you with her presence," Yuno sighed inwardly. Mikan's voice was barely above a whisper, a delicate murmur that echoed with a hint of anxiety. Clutching her clipboard tightly, she flinched at the gentle touch on her shoulder, her heart racing with trepidation. Sato-san." Mikan's voice quivered as she turned to face her companion, her eyes wide with surprise and a touch of fear. Despite the concern etched on both their faces, there was an unspoken understanding between them, a shared apprehension that hung heavy in the air. Sato's presence offered a small measure of comfort, yet Mikan couldn't shake the sense of foreboding that lingered within her. With a soft exhale, she clung to her clipboard, her fingers trembling ever so slightly as she prepared herself for the trials that lay ahead on the display of the monitor. "I go after Bakugo." Izuku stood behind a corner as he spoke in a whisper. "He's my battle to face." "You think you can handle Ida? Junko? The nerd TWK boy? Oh, he's just a walk in the thing park." "A piece of but waiting to be demolished," Junko declared with a casual flick of her hair, her words laced with contempt. Her gaze, burning with an unsettling energy, drilled into Izuku, as if challenging him to prove her wrong. With a subtle flex of her nails, Junko drew Izuku's attention to her hands, each digit sharpened to a lethal point. The glint in her eyes spoke volumes, a dark promise of chaos and destruction lurking beneath her facade of indifference. "You won't let me down, will you, Izuku?" Junko's smile oozed with smug confidence, a twisted blend of amusement and malice. In her eyes, Izuku was nothing more than a pawn in her twisted game of despair, a mere obstacle to be overcome on her path to ultimate chaos. Izuku looked at her with her words playing in his mind. They've already talked about their game plan against the two forces Bakugo and Ida. Lose. Izuku looked at Junko. Junko rose to her feet, her movements fluid and graceful, a stark contrast to the stillness that enveloped Izuku as he leaned against the wall, his posture betraying a sense of exhaustion and contemplation. "Come on, broccoli ball. Don't tell me you're just gonna stand there like a dumbass with your mouth shut. Did the DMNPP get your tongue, or something?" "Wah, no, I know how to handle." Junko's eyes locked onto Izuku before her, the intensity of her gaze unwavering. The world around them seemed to slow, revealing Bakugo with a manic expression etched on his face, a look that screamed excitement, as if he were ready to blow up anything in his path. Izuku's eyes widened before instinctively to avoid the attack. Junko landed on her, but with Izuku face fully indulging in between her soft, plump BRSDS. "Ah, F you piece of SHD. Deku." Bakugo roared out angrily, his palms exposed aggressively while eyeing down Izuku. Izuku took a massive breath after dodging an attack from Bakugo. "Junko, go hurry." Izuku's tone of voice is stern and focused. He gestures to Junko to go and leave. "All right. You slimy PP." Junko's voice pierced the air, a blend of amusement and menace swirling in her tone as she sprung up from her seat with a dramatic flourish. "You're DMing lucky my nail didn't break. But don't you dare lose, got it? You're dead Fing meat if you lose. I hate losing." Junko Fing Inashima never loses. Her laughter exploded like the wild roar of a queen unhinged, reverberating through the room with a touch of madness. With a wicked smirk, she sauntered off, her hand provocatively skimming her curves in a bold display of sensuality. His face nestled between these melons felt dim and good, Junko purred, her voice oozing with suggestive longing. Maybe he should do it more often. Hell, maybe even lower. The lascivious thought hung in the air, thick with anticipation and a hunger for more. Deku. CRP? Izuku scrambled, sidestepping and ducking, sweat trickling down the side of his face as attacks rained down upon him. Each evasion was fraught with unsteadiness, his eyes darting with a mixture of panic and determination. Bakugo. I am. Izuku struggled for words, his mind racing with a torrent of emotions towards his childhood bully. There were so many things he wanted to say, so much to prove. I am not the same old Deku I was once. I'll prove it to you right here, right now. He's charging in recklessly, Maki remarked, her voice cutting through the air like a knife through ice, sharp and unforgiving. Her gaze remained fixed on the screen, dissecting every move Izuku and Bakugo made with a calculated precision. Stay focused, she advised, her tone softening slightly, betraying a hint of contemplation. Dodge and wait for the right moment. An opponent blinded by rage is nothing more than a vulnerable target. Her words trailed off into a quiet murmur, frustration seeping into her voice. Maki clenched her jaw, her eyes narrowed in thought. But why does it matter if his training proves effective? Why am I invested in the outcome? There was a momentary pause, as if she were wrestling with her own conflicting emotions, before she added, I want to see him apply the lessons learned during those grueling months of training. Sada stood with clenched fists, her gaze fixed on Izuku as he finishfully evaded Bakugo's onslaught. Merkuro's eyes narrowed as she observed her sister Junko on the monitor, her face twisted into a feverish expression while she grabbed her own BRSDS. Sister, what are you doing? She's clearly, very too turned on. Mikan whispered to the Yandere gals. That Fing slot blurred out. Junko, you cow melons beach, Maki hissed through gritted teeth, her voice laced with venom. A few female students gave the girls an interested and concerned glacé. Mineta eyes rose up, and his ears magically twitched with interest. Wah. What's rude? Mikan looked around her surroundings before speaking in a whisper. I am so sure she has a good reason for her behavior. Izuku wouldn't like it if we talk bad about our friends. Suri, Mikan, each girl's voice dripped with skepticism and sarcasm. I'm sure she does have a good reason. Maki, and Sato shot poor Mikan the dirtiest side-eye ever. Mikan clutched her clipboard tightly, panic evident in her trembling hands. She peeked out from behind it, her face a mixture of embarrassment and shame. I'm so sorry. As Izuku and Bakugo clashed, Junko darted towards the bomb, the sharp clicks of her heels echoing through the room with each determined step. Izuku is not the type to go down easy. I can tell, Junko mused, her gaze fixed on the unfolding chaos. Memories of Izuku's training for One for All danced in her mind. How fascinating it is a quirkless kid with dreams of being a hero gets a quirk. What else is this world going to take away from him, I wonder? She chuckled softly, her voice tinged with a hint of sadistic delight. She stops in her tracks, her back pushed to the wall. She listens closely. Found it I better be rewarded for this. All this running is fing up my makeup. Junko's grin stretched wide, her eyes ablaze with an endless spiral of excitement and chaos. Oh, this should be completely light work. I should let Izuku know, but MMH. She hovered her finger over the communicator, poised to make the call to Izuku, before casually retracting it with an air of nonchalance. Twinkie Junko's voice rings out with a playful edge as she strides forward, each step exuding the confidence of a queen. Her gaze holds a mixture of complexity, intrigue, and perhaps a hint of mischief. Ida immediately sprang into action, assuming a defensive stance with his quirk activated as he positioned himself protectively behind the bomb assigned to him. Hello. Junko smiled innocent. She clenched her fist in a cat-like stance, I'll look at little old me look who just exposed themselves. Her voice, playful and girly childish. She tilted her hand with wink. Shame on me. Shami on me. This is no game, Junko and Nashima. Exposing yourself like that is dangerous. If this were a real event, your actions will be unacceptable, this highly worth, and will affect your grade. F that. Junko's face fumed with anger. You sound pathetic, you stupid baby tooth nerd. What should I care about some stupid hero fundamentals? Save them, is that easy? Junko's eyes glared, burning furiously with anger. From her eyebrows to up to her forehead, she was set. Ida seemed taken back, and Junko knew Ida is new to such an attitude. Version energy, Junko shrugged. So you'll let me walk upright? And just touch the bomb? Come on, I am Junko the Fing Queen. Absolutely not, I will not let you do such a task. Junko leaned forward with her hands on her hips. Her chest swayed smoothly side to side. Will Fing see? Come on. Hit a CC woman. Well, yeah, I would like to see you try. You Fing nerd. Teacher's pets always set me off. Ida dashed toward Junko at high speed, but Junko effortlessly anticipated his every move. With lightning-fast reflexes, she dodged every kick, her speed and agility clearly surpassing Ida's. Left-right, down-upright. Ida could land a single high kick. Junko jumped back quickly with Ida stuck onto her trail. Junko's laughter erupted like a symphony of madness, her eyes squeezed shut in gleeful abandon. With swift, graceful movements, she dodged each quick kick, her body swaying with an eerie elegance. Her left eye squinted in a deranged manner, contrasting sharply with the wide-eyed intensity of her right. As her grin stretched into a jaw-splitting smile, Junko's long, slippery tongue snaked out, adding to the unsettling spectacle. Oh, brother, this guy stinks. All these misses are worse than my sister's grades in middle school. F loser. All Might eyes nearly pop out of his sockets watching the monitor. Junko's speed and agility impressed him. He wondered if Junko had trained to be as fast as she is now. Do you see that? Minetta's jaw dropped. I wouldn't want to face somebody that quick. The rest of Class 1A were all impressed. The Class 1A girls watched intensely as Junko dodged every kick from Ida. The fastest of our class can't even hit a girl. Kamari muttered. WOH, are you guys seeing those quick movements? That's crazy. The boy with red-pointed hair spoke in shock with the rest of the Class 1A. Mikan turned to the rest of the Yandere gals. Lo. Look, Junko. She's very, very fast? Mikan's eyes widened in pure shock at the screen. Amazing. Maki was instantly shocked. Her agility. How does she move this fast? It's almost instant. It's too quick for me. My eyes can follow her movement. She knows. She can know. I don't think that's it. Maki couldn't believe it. Junko, you are troublesome. It's like you're reading Ida. It's like you know that he is coming when it hasn't arrived yet. Yuno's eyes glowed hate pink, and she stared deeply at the monitor. She's going to be a pain to cut out. She's just toying with Ida. She's not being serious. She's jeopardizing Izuku's chance of winning. Yuno blinked, and in an instant, she had a bubbly, sweethearted smile. That's very impressive of Junko, such talented speed. Izuki is lucky to have Junko on his side. Izuki, you got this. Yuno laughed softly and cutely. Yet, each positive word she said about Junko she wanted to throw up. Makuro watched Junko toy, joke, and insult Ida. Sister, why don't you just end him quickly? You toy too much. Alright, I am bored. Junko stops, and Ida steps back. What outrageous! Ida's stance is more aggressive. The boosters on the calf of his feet burn intensely, the flame of his harsh, and Ida is clearly using more power than needed. I will teach you that this is not a game. Oh, what are you, a car? You can't be serious. Junko's eyes narrowed at Ida with a disgusted frown. When you first got your quirk, did you drink gasoline to start up those engines or something? Ida launched a fierce kick towards Junko, who opted to absorb the full force of the blow. Her eyes widened with a mix of surprise and exhilaration as she was sent hurtling backward, skidding across the ground for a considerable distance. Izuku currently caught Bakugu's arm and flipped him over his shoulder and slammed straight onto the ground on his back. I am Deku and I want to be the world's greatest hero. Izuku didn't hold back. He wanted his dream to be loud and clear. Izuku then backed away from Bakugu, who stood up. Deku, you lied about being quirkless. Yeah, I did. Izuku shouted. This is my quirk, so I am going to use it as my own. Izuku lunged forward with an attack, but Bakugo swiftly countered by blasting upward, catching Izuku off guard. The explosion momentarily blinded him as he staggered backward. Before he could recover, Bakugo seized the opportunity to land a devastating blast to Izuku's back, causing him to gasp in pain. With a swift motion, Bakugo yanked Izuku's arm and flipped him over, slamming him forcefully to the ground. Ugh! Izuku gasped in pain as he struggled to get back on his feet, feeling a slight tremble in his hands from the impact. His eyes widened in alarm as he saw Bakugo's hand pointed directly at him, while the other hand held a safety pin from his armlet grenade. The communicator crackled in Bakugo's ear, urgency lacing All Might's voice. "Bakugo, it's too dangerous, don't do it, you could finish young Midoriya." "Shut up!" Bakugo's grin widened as he swiftly shut off the communicator. "Eat, SHD, Deku." CRP Izuku's eyes widened in horror as he took a hesitant step forward, despite being several feet apart from Bakugo. BOMMM. The blast enveloped Izuku, shrouding everything in smoke and leaving his vision blurred. It took a moment, the smoke gradually fading to reveal the devastation in the area. "My body hurts." "A bit," Izuku muttered as he emerged from the dissipating smoke, looking utterly spent. "No, not yet. I can't give up, I have to prove. This isn't over." "Deku, give up, you demon nerd," Bakugo roared, seeing Izuku pull back his arm, charging up for a punch. In response, Bakugo moved his hand out towards Izuku, both of them screaming in defiance. Sato's eyes widened at the sight, her breath catching in her throat. Izuku, she whispered, the image of his battered body making her feel sick to her stomach with fear and worry. "I can't watch." Her voice trailed off, a mixture of anguish and helplessness evident in her tone. "Then close your eyes," Maki spat at Sato, her voice dripping with contempt and frustration. "Eek, if that punch lands, it'll finish Bakugo." Mikon panicked, clutching her clipboard tightly to her chest, the pressure slightly pressing against her BRSDS. A force that powerful, most likely destroyed his body from the inside. He'll die. Mercuro eyes focus on both screens. "Sister, what happened? Why did you let yourself be hurt?" "If it's for entertainment. I get it, but Midoriya TSK. Your condition is terrible." All Might and Class 1. They were all in panic. All Might could only stare and hope the worst dose not happened. "Young man, I trust you got this." Yuno's eyes were nearly watering, her voice sweetly broken as she pleaded, Izuki, fight, don't. Please. Be okay, Izuki." Junko rose to her feet, her body swaying with a reckless energy. Anger? No, not quite. She wasn't mad. She just needed something to get her BLD pumping. "A fing bruise," Junko spat, her glare fixed on Ida. With lightning speed, she lunged towards him, her movements fluid and precise. "Ha, Junko cackled as she launched a purple glob towards Ida, effortlessly breaking through his armor. Dodging his attempts to evade her, she swiftly closed the distance and delivered a devastating punch to his side, courtesy of her quirk, Queen of Despair. The glowing purple flame-like aura enveloped her hand, amplifying the impact and leaving Ida stunned. "You fing BSDRD, enjoy your trip to Despair City." Junko laughed mockingly as Ida's feet shook and shivered. "Look at you, all scared witless," she jeered, strutting away from Ida. "What's the point of your quirk if you're just useless without those legs of yours? Time to wake up from this nightmare. You DMN stupid nerd." Ida collapsed, his legs going numb as desperate, fearful cries echoed through the air. "I forgot 3, 2, and 1." Junko spun around, darting towards the bomb before the timer reached 0. As she did, the ground a few feet in front of Ida crumpled and was destroyed by a powerful blast of wind, shooting up through the rest of the building's floors. "Shame. I wanted it to be on cue," Junko lamented, hanging her head as if she were saddened by the missed opportunity. "Izuku, you owe me some pages." "Ugh." She mimicked, grasping the shape of a PP, her mouth forming an O as her tongue stuck out while she stroked the imaginary member. "Fuck. I need to SCK on something." "Ugh, so much work." Her eyes gleamed with playful lust. Mukuro held Yuno back as she angrily began to strangle Junko. "You, cow. My darling almost lost because of you, ARRRGHHH." Mukuro sighs, "This SCKS. I hate it here." All Might announced the winner. "Team Heroes wins," he said proudly before turning his attention to the screen, where they were taking the injured Izuku out. Bakuga stood there, shocked and utterly speechless. Maki silently observed the monitors, her gaze flickering across the screens with intent focus. The images played out scenarios of intense battles, each displaying the prowess and determination of their classmates. Mikan's eyes perked up shyly, her curiosity evident in her voice. What do? You see? If you don't mind me asking. Mikan nodded her head timidly, her hands clasped together nervously. Maki glanced briefly at Mikan, her expression retaining its usual seriousness. Nothing, she replied calmly, her voice measured. Just thinking. As she spoke, her mind raced with analysis and strategy, silently evaluating the strengths and weaknesses of each participant in the upcoming battles. Oh, okay, I have to rush to Izuku. Mikan gasped, her face flushing red with worry as she anxiously scanned her surroundings. With a hurried bye-bye, she dashed off to heal Izuku. Ah, my prince, my love, I am coming to your aid. Don't worry, your nurse is here, she exclaimed, her heart racing with concern for her beloved Izuku. With determination in her eyes, she hurried toward Izuku's location, her thoughts filled with nothing but ensuring his safety and well-being as she rushed to Recovery Girl's office. Just who the hell is this woman? A raspy voice demanded, slightly pitched, coming from a man with messy, short grayish-blue hair obscuring his face. He stood, staring intently at the TV before him. The man wasn't alone in the room. It was a dim, dark bar illuminated by a few fancy neon signs that read drink, relax, and villains. These signs were most likely bought by Kurogiri, a figure composed of swirling purple mist. The group all sat in their own positions and spots as the static of the TV filled the room. A chess piece, the voice on the TV declared, breaking through the ominous static. Though the face couldn't be made out, the voice was unmistakable to those in the dimly lit bar. Chess asset. The woman's icy blue eyes shot a sharp gaze, her tone cutting through the room like a blade. I am here for one reason, to dominate. Don't mistake me for an ally. Only fools and low-life slaves believe they can control me. I am the leader. I demand BLD, corpses, and death beneath my feet. She crossed her arms, revealing a small tattoo above her cleavage, accentuated by her posture. Her glare was unyielding, and her voice commanded absolute authority. Do we have a deal? Just who do you think you are? Tamura's hands formed a grappling stance, angered at the woman. The voice from the TV, distorted by static, crackled. Quit it, Tamura. Do not worry. Our end of the bargain is even. The woman said nothing more, retreating to her corner with an air of disdain. League of Villains. Such a pathetic, lowly name, she thought, her lips curling into a scornful smile. I am here for one thing. The thrill of the plan and the spectacle of a truly magnificent invasion. Her expression remained serious and lethal, radiating a cold, unyielding determination. Beneath her composed exterior, a bloodthirsty urge simmered, gnawing at every nerve in her body with a relentless hunger for carnage. The woman wasn't the only new member joining the gathering. A high school girl and a man with scarred, burned skin also arrived. The woman recoiled slightly as the stench of his decayed flesh reached her, a look of disgust crossing her face. Hello, the blonde girl's face was twisted into an unsettlingly wide smile, her eyes gleaming with manic excitement. Oh, how thrilling! Her golden eye glowed ominously as a fang peeked out from beneath her unsettling smile. The blue-haired woman cast a discerning glance at the teenage girl with the golden eye, noting her youth with a hint of disdain. Disinterested, she retrieved a small booklet from her pocket and began to write, her expression one of boredom. These lowlives, she scrawled with a sharp, deliberate motion, finishing everyone would be pointless. That's not what I agreed to. I will honor my bargain. But it won't be over until I've seen him for myself. She stopped until I see him for myself. Deku Bakugu yelled, his voice bursting with anger. Despite being only 14 feet apart, his shout echoed as the sun began to set. Sato's eyes widened before she rolled them in exasperation. Come on, screw off already. You lost fair and square. She glanced back, carefully analyzing Izuku's arm, now in a cast. Seriously, she muttered. Turning back to Izuku, she gave him a worried and concerned look. Let's go, my love. It's... Her voice trailed off into silence. Oh, Junko chuckled, her voice dripping with mockery. Looks like someone's on her PRD. I am not. Sato's face flushed red with embarrassment at Junko's comment. I am concerned for my darling. What Bakugo did back there could have seriously put my sweetie's life in danger. She shook her head, trying to regain her composure. You're on that yearly week, huh? I bet you take BRTH control to avoid your monthly CYCL. Is everything such a bother to you? What are? Izuku sighed, unsure what on earth was happening. I don't want to explain this to you, Maki said, looking at Izuku with a mixture of annoyance and shyness. She pinched the bridge of her nose. I honestly don't. Beneath her irritation, a small blush hinted at her embarrassment. He's too pure. He doesn't even know what girls go through during that time of the month. I don't know if this is type of boy existed, she thought. Don't ignore me, you bastards. I forgot he even existed, whispered, her voice barely audible and laced with a touch of disdain. She turned to Izuku, her expression shifting to a bright, innocent grin. Maybe he's just checking up on you. Izuku, her voice quickly returned to its usual, sweet tone. Merkuro, arms crossed, gave Yuno a nod. She caught Yuno's quiet comment and smirked slightly. For once, I agree with you, she said, her tone dripping with sardonic amusement. Such a caring friend. She then rolled her eyes at Bakugo's loud, obnoxious voice, picking at her ear with a look of annoyance. How did you beat when Bakugo shouts as the weight of his yelling suddenly puts weight on Izuku? You were quirkless throughout our childhood. You have no quirk. Have you been lying to me, you quirkless losser? You think you're better than me? Hiding your quirk doesn't make you better than me, you DMN nerd. Izuku glazed a strong gaze as he stared at Bakugo. I am not the old middle school Deku I once was. I have friends. I have a dream. We both did. We both have a dream. I know I am not the only human in the world that wants to be the #1 hero. His eyes locked at Bakugo, who waited angrily for Izuku's response. It's my quirk. Izuku took a breath as he opened his mouth open. Sato, Yuno, Junko, Makuro, Maki, all stood near and close to Izuku. All of their minds frozen with a single thing in mind. They all realized at this moment. Is Izuki / my sugar life / Izuku Midoriya / muscle TWK boy really going to say it? I have changed, Izuku shouted proudly. This is ITS better than exposing All Might's secret dash. All the Yandere gals' minds raced and screamed as they all comedy dropped to the floor. This is my quirk. This is my quirk. It's my own, a part of me now. You motherfuck. Maki's eyes glowed red as her hands were ready to strangle Izuku. Ah, Izuki darling / my love, what? Don't give him a clue? Sato bit their fingers in a fit of madness and shock. Makuro closed her eyes, her focus shifting away from Izuku. Midoriya, what a pitiful sight you are, she mused, finding it hard to accept the words she'd just heard. You're truly a disappointment, she stated, her voice laced with contempt. I can't comprehend what Junko sees in you. While Izuku was being strangled and yelled at by Maki, Sato argued back, desperately trying to free him. Amid the chaos, Yuno joined the fray, arguing with both Maki and Sato, while Izuku struggled to understand why this was happening. Can't see a thing. Can you, blind sis? Junko's eyes glittered with wicked delight as she deliberately glanced at something unseen. Don't mess this up, or I'll slice those pathetic melons right off your chest. Makuro's eyes narrowed in surprise. Sister, what exactly are you planning right here? Just watch, flat melons. Ugh, I've got to thank Mom for these genes. I mean, look at me, I've got melons that demand attention. Bakugo let out a harsh TSK, shooting Izuku a scathing glare. You're such a loser, nerd. He turned away from Izuku and stormed off, leaving the others behind. Thud. Mikan's shoulder collided with Bakugo's. Watch it. Mikan quickly looked away, her voice trembling. I am sorry, please forgive me. I am so sorry. She almost burst into tears as she moved towards Izuku, her eyes filling with worry. Did I upset him? Did I show up at the wrong time? Mikan's eyes were teary as she looked at Izuku with a worried frown. No, Izuku smiled. Nothing happened. Just, nothing happens. You idiot. You're even more of a dumbass than him, Maki shouted, glaring at Izuku as he pointed to the spot where Bakugo had been. Izuku chuckled, grinning widely and giving a thumbs up. Don't me, Maki sighed, raising her fist as if preparing to slam it onto Izuku's head, giving him a hint. Really? Not very smart. His brain is like that of a capybara. I highly doubt he'll connect the dots while his anger blinds him, Izuku said, stretching the back of his head and flashing Maki a carefree smile, a sweat drop trickling down his forehead. I see. I'm glad that I didn't disrupt anything, Mikan said softly, observing the escalating argument between Yuno and Sato. That capybara? That little creature from, Peru? Izuku noted with a silly and bright smile at Mikan and Maki, as Yuno and Sato stood close to Izuku. Maki stared in disbelief before sighing. Sure he is, she said, looking away from Izuku's smile. Don't smile like that, she thought, a hint of redness creeping into her cheeks. You dumbass. This doesn't mean you get away from this. Maki, your faces. Yuno pointed at Maki, a mix of interest and surprise evident in her expression. I am not. Maki's eyes flared with intensity. Sato turned her gaze toward Izuku. Come on, my sweet Izuku. Let's head home, she said softly, her eyes drifting to his cast with visible concern. He really shouldn't have pushed himself like that. How could he get away with that explosion? It nearly. She caught her breath for a moment, trying to steady herself. Izuku noticed the worry in Sato's voice. Sato. He offered a soft, gentle smile. I'm really okay. What matters is that Junko managed to handle that bomb in time. My arm will heal soon enough. I'm fine. Really. No need to worry, okay? He leaned his head slightly closer to her, causing a faint blush to rise on Sato's cheeks. Junko stuck out her tongue with a smirk. Ugh, get a freaking room, and maybe grab some condoms if you're going to be all lovey-dovey like that. Yuno's smile was sweet, but her eyes betrayed an intense jealousy as she watched Izuku's gesture. Maki, indifferent, barely glanced in their direction, seeing no cause for concern. Mokuro, rolling her eyes, walked beside her sister with a protective air. Mikan noticed the fierce, angry look in Maki's eyes. Her gaze turned upward in frustration. Mikan spoke softly, trying to address Maki's evident anger. You look very upset. Maki shot Mikan a piercing glare, her eyes blazing with irritation. Mikan flinched, stumbling over her words. Sorry, I am sorry, and fell silent, shrinking under the intensity of Maki's stare. As the group headed home for the day, the sun had already set, marking the end of their first ever training session. Izuku offered comfort to Sato, who stayed close by, her presence almost as if she were shielding him from the world's dangers. Izuku watched the group with a smile, observing their interactions. Maki was giving a slight bow to Mikan, who was nervously fidgeting. Yuno offered a gentle smile his way, while Makuro's annoyance was palpable, her disdain for him evident. Junko appeared beside Yuno, Maki, and Mikan, laughing and making crude jokes about Izuku's PP size. Izuku's thoughts turned inward. Maki might have a point, but it doesn't change anything. I need to keep pushing forward. I'm still struggling to fully control One for All, and until I do, I won't be able to protect my girlfriend and friends properly. Izuku chuckled heartily, his laughter catching the attention of all the Yandere girls. This is fun. I'm really grateful to have Sato and my little group with me. Sato's heart raced, her face flushing a soft pink as she gazed at Izuku with a tender smile, her eyes shimmering with unshed tears. Maki's ears perked up as she whipped around, her eyes widening in surprise. Junko's voice faltered, her gaze fixed on Izuku with a mix of confusion and disbelief, her mouth slightly agape. Mokuro's eyes, too, widened as she observed Izuku, unable to mask the contentment evident on his face. Yuno bit her bottom lip, her hands trembling slightly. Her cheeks mirrored Sato's rosy hue, and a tender smile graced her lips. For a fleeting moment, hearts seemed to sparkle in her eyes. Mikan clasped her hands over her chest, her gaze shyly lowered to the ground as she blushed, overwhelmed by the unfolding emotions around her. The day had come to an abrupt end, though in a surprising twist, Junko had insisted on a duo sleepover with Izuku. However, Sato was quick to shut down that idea, refusing to let it happen. A relaxful day in Sato apartment. Whoa, thank you, Mikan. Izuku chuckled, flexing his now fully healed arm. Really, thank you. I honestly didn't want to wait for it to heal naturally. Mikan blushed shyly, her hands fidgeting as she alternated between waving them and covering her face. She closed her eyes, trying to steady herself. Anything, so I can be useful to you. Izuku smiled warmly at her, shaking his head. Useful to me? You don't need to be useful. You're perfect just the way you are. He gave her a reassuring thumbs up, his genuine kindness shining through. Well, a healer is definitely useful, Maki shrugged, her tone edged with irritation as she settled onto the rosy pink couch. When a hero's in the thick of battle and needs to heal up, it's a game changer. You can get back in the fight, ready for another round, and come out alive. She shot a pointed look at Mikan, her expression clearly conveying her frustration. Junko sprawled out on the couch, practically draping herself over Maki with an exaggerated laugh. Ha ha ha, this couch is so ridiculous. She propped her legs up on Maki's lap, smirking mischievously. What? Did you actually get a new one? Or did your taste just take a nosedive? Yuno shot a sharp glare at Sato, the silence between them thick with tension. She couldn't help but recall their deadly confrontation, a brutal clash that had nearly ended both of their lives if not for Mikan's timely intervention and healing. Sato, however, smiled brightly, masking the frustration that simmered beneath her cheerful facade. She had spent more than she'd planned on the new couch, but kept her voice light. Yeah, a bright and cozy one. It's really cute, don't you think? Makuro sighed, emerging from the kitchen with a cup of water in hand. I see. But if you think pink is cute, then your taste in color is absolutely abysmal. Her tone was flat, yet carried the subtle sting of her usual disdain. What? Yuno and Sato rolled up their sleeves, glaring at Makuro with a fiery intensity. Both, with their pink hair practically bristling, shouted in unison, "Pink is cute." Makuro took a slow sip from her cup of water, her expression as indifferent as ever. Whatever you say, she replied coolly. Your opinions are irrelevant. Hee I bet from Izuku's point of view, you two look like walking bubble gum. Junko's expression briefly mirrored the crying laughing emoji found on Android devices, her amusement evident. Get your feet off my lap, Maki ordered, her voice cold and devoid of emotion. Nah, Junko said with a smirk, her voice dripping with dark amusement. Her chest rose and fell with a slow, almost deliberate rhythm, each breath laden with a stuck undercurrent. This adorable little group? Oh, I'm sticking around until the very end. Her laugh was low and chilling, full of twisted delight. The chaos, the surprises, everything that keeps me guessing. It's all so entertaining, don't you think? Her gaze burned with a fierce intensity, her breath hot and laden with a dangerous allure. Izuku, you charmingly unpredictable boy. While Izuku, focused on celebrating the recovery of his arm, proudly flexed it and showed his now fully healed limb to his girlfriend Sato, as well as to Yuno and Mikan. His excitement was palpable. Maki's anger flared with every passing second as she processed Junko's words. Unpredictable? A heavy silence hung in the air. Junko's smile widened, a glint of mischief in her eyes. Oh, you're not deaf, I know that. Her voice dripped with a chilling sweetness. I meant exactly what I said. Izuku is a whirlwind of unpredictability, and that's what keeps me entertained. It's what makes me never want to leave him. Maki remained silent, her gaze fixed on Junko's relaxed yet intense eyes. For a fleeting moment, she saw an unsettling pattern, endless spirals of infinite pain, chaos, and a hint of despair that seemed to echo in the depths of Junko's soul. So, you find him unpredictable, Maki said, her gaze fixed on Junko with unwavering intensity. Is that how you see Izuku? As your plaything? Maki's face was a storm of animosity, her red eyes burning with a simmering rage. Your unpredictable toy. Junko's laughter was cold and mocking. Oh, I wouldn't call him a child's toy, she said, her voice dripping with insincerity. He's far too intriguing for that. More like a plaything adults can't resist. Junko turned away slightly, arching her back provocatively, her bust pressing forward as her legs rubbed together with a deliberate, sultry movement. Thud. Izuku's body jolted slightly at the sudden, loud thud of something hitting the floor. Yuno and Sato quickly turned their attention, their eyes locked on the commotion unfolding on the ground. Understand this. He is not your source of pleasure. He's mine, you disgusting piece of trash, Maki hissed, her voice cold and unyielding. Makuro intervened swiftly, shattering a glass cup with her bare hand. She brandished a shard with a menacing edge. Cut it out. Let my sister go. I mean it one more move, and I'll slice your throat. This is your only warning. I don't plan on giving you another reason to act, Maki retorted, her hands tightening around Junko's throat. We're not here to play your games. Junko's eyes gleamed with a wild, delirious excitement. Oh, you've been playing from the start, flat-chested one. F you, Maki snapped, releasing Junko's throat. Makuro carefully set the glass shard aside and stepped back. Junko smirked, her eyes widening with a twisted thrill. On with what? You don't have the means to do that, and you don't need it to enjoy me. She pulled Maki close with a dangerous allure. I love playing with toys. Maki recoiled, pushing herself away from Junko and rising to her feet. I'm hungry, she said tersely, turning away. Food is, in the kitchen, if you want. Sato tilted her head, confused. I'll go. Your home is terrible, Maki said with a sigh, heading towards the kitchen. Izuku's eyes widened as he rushed to Junko. Junko, are you all right? He grabbed her hand and tried to lift her, only for her to collapse into him. Of course I'm fine, dear, Junko whispered into Izuku's shirt, her voice light and teasing. I'm just feeling a bit off. Off? Izuku was confused. Oh, okay. He then noticed the BLD seeping from Makuro's hand. Izuku set Junko down and panicked. BLD your hand? Yes, it's BLD. No, it doesn't hurt. It's fine. I don't need a nurse, Makuro started, but Mikan was already there, ready to heal her. It looks really bad, Izuku exclaimed. I don't want you to be in pain, he watched as Mikan's hands hovered over Makuro's injury. I don't. Makuro hesitated. The worry in Izuku's eyes was something she wasn't used to. The intensity of his concern struck her deeply, making her pause. Fine, she finally said. I don't mind. Izuku's relieved smile made Makuro's stoic demeanor crack for a moment, and she gave him a brief, monotone glance. Sato gnawed on her nail, green eyes simmering with jealousy as she watched Izuku's concern for another girl. Why doesn't he worry about me like that? He should be focused on me and only me, my sweet sugar life. Meanwhile, Yuno's phone buzzed, jolting her from her thoughts. My phone. Why is it buzzing now? She lifted her phone, eyes widening as she read the incoming message. Future diary. My quirk. A wave of hope washed over Yuno, mingled with a cold dread that sent chills through her skin and soul. Her heart raced uncontrollably as she read the entry. The phone entry read as, date, X/12/XXXX time, 5:43. Izuki dies. Izuki dies. Izuki dies. Izuki dies. Izuki dies. Izuki dies. Tomorrow. Izuki dies tomorrow. Izuki is going to be lost forever. The phone entry read as ends. The words sent a shiver down Yuno's spine, the icy fear almost making her sick. Her body tensed, the urge to vomit overwhelming as the terrifying reality of the message sank in. Jealousy? Love? Izuku's kindness is starting to be taken for effect? So, this was the end of part 5 of this series. Stay tuned for next part of this series, and if you like this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Until next time.